If you're hiring, you need Indeed, because Indeed is the hiring partner where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Go to Indeed.com/spinsters to claim your $75 credit before April 30th. Welcome to Spinsters. Here is part 2 of our anti-awards award show with Seerat Sohi. And we're just going to jump right on in. We're back.
What's next, Harry?
Oh, right. Let's go with I'm excited to hear what everybody has to say about this one. The Player 225 award for the single most average player in the NBA. I got
all
that.
30 team. First pick on your all 30 NBA team.
Yes. The first team all 30. Yeah. I'm curious.
No, yeah. Harry, it would be third.
First team.
You say second team all NBA. It'd be 30 team all NBA.
You're right. First team all 30.
And this, to be clear, because at first I was like, wait, 225 would be at the bottom of the NBA, but we're not saying he's an average NBA player. It's not relative to NBA players. It's that he's just very overall average in the human scope. Well, probably basketball players who are budding professional or just professional overall. Average guy.
Okay. Who you got? Did you have one?
I do. And I felt a little bit mean, so I put 2, which I'm wondering now if that's more mean to just include more people in this. I like this guy. I've liked this guy since he was on the Wolves. Nemanja Bjelica. Just you never ever think of him. With the Wolves, he shot threes that they desperately needed. With the Warriors, I think Harry can tell you, very, very minimal contribution. Vibes guy, but that's not the category. My second one was Royce O'Neal, supremely average, but I would put Bjelica above. I think I add an extra syllable whenever I say his name, and I really Bjelica.
Sounds good. Sounds right.
Yeah, it feels more fun to say Bjelica. Bjelica. Anyway, yeah, he's pretty average.
Yeah. That's a good one. I had Austin Rivers.
Damn.
This is also from a stats perspective. But
you're talking this season, to be fair. Yeah, I think that's fair.
Well, okay. For this season, he's averaging 6 points. Average. First of all, he's been in the league for almost 10 years, which is very surprising to me.
How old
is
Austin
averages
Rivers?
8 points for his career. Just pretty, he doesn't get too high. He's just kind of there. You expect him to be there because he's Doc Rivers' son. He's a pretty good player, but he's not blowing you away. That's kind of what I was thinking average. It's you play basketball.
And occasionally, has stretches where he genuinely in his career has contributed. But overall, he's the perfect example of the guy where it'd be weird if he wasn't picked up by anybody.
Yeah.
But also he's really minimally helping, but helping more than the other minimal helpers could.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
He's had some real playoff heaters.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
I went with Stanley Johnson here. Just single most average player, average name. He's 6'6". He's a small forward.
Name.
He hypothetically does all the 3-and-D things, but kind of not really. And he belongs on an NBA team, but I don't really think about him when he's not there. And he has I feel like when you play Pirtle, he'd be a good person to start Pirtle with, right? He's 25 years old. And he also has like the silhouette of an NBA player. Like if he was like the actual guy for it and you saw the silhouette, I think I'd be lost. Be like, this is
This could be anyone.
there's like 100 players right now that I'm thinking about.
That's
fair
a great one. He also he still wears the t-shirt under jersey.
Oh yeah.
That's I didn't know people still
Old art.
went for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stanley.
That's
not good.
probably
I
the
love going after
most
his name.
like not average thing about him.
Yeah. Although if you think about just regular people who play basketball, a lot of them will employ that t-shirt under the jersey.
That's
So
a good point.
Maybe
That's a
it
good
actually
point.
is.
Yeah.
It does contribute to.
He's like the working man's NBA player.
Yeah, except for like nobody cheers for
Exactly. Like, do people, people don't root for people just doing their jobs every day.
Yeah, because
That's
you know what
true.
though? I was thinking Ish Smith for this, but I couldn't do it because I just adore Ish Smith. And yeah, but I mean, I don't have that connection to
Just Smith is the
Stanley.
best.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
great.
Because I feel like Ish Smith, he fits in a role. Like he's like, he goes to every team and he's like, this is my role. And he's that same role every time. This is just like,
For like 26 years.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, these are all good picks.
So I applied two methodologies to my pick, and they zeroed in on the same guy. Methodology one was I looked at points per game for everybody in the league and found the page with in the middle, which is around like 8 or 9 points a game. I think because at a certain minutes threshold, the NBA stats stops checking it. And so I was like, okay, found a couple people who could potentially do it. Then I went to the standings and looked up who has the most 15th best record in the NBA. And at this point, I think actually the Cavs had the 14th best, but because my guy was on the Cavs. And then I looked for who is the 7th or 8th man on the Cavs, which is like right in the middle of the middle.
Don't
I think I know it is.
you dare.
Cedi Osman.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought it was Kevin Love.
Fine.
Who do you think? Oh, Kevin Love. Cedi Osman is in the middle of both of those, so he's my pick.
That was incredible.
Thank you.
Way to put in the work, Carrie.
I appreciate
Yeah,
it.
that's good. You actually
Wait,
like
who did you think I was going to say? Kevin Love?
I was worried
I
that
thought
you
that.
were like not taking injury into account, and you were going to say Rubio,
Oh, no.
because in a world where he's not injured, that fits the qualifications.
Mhm. That makes sense. No,
He met the criteria. Yeah.
no. Rubio buoyed my fantasy
Too
basketball
beautiful.
season.
I
I almost
hair?
put Raul Neto on this, but I was like, he's too beautiful. Like he's not average. He's beautiful. So I couldn't do it. Yeah.
Yeah, I would say the same thing about Rubio.
Mhm.
Yeah, the hair.
Yeah, he's
So
got too
good.
much of a spark
Gorgeous.
to be average.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does he have the lion tattoo?
Yes.
That's not
he
average.
does. That's not
That's not
normal.
average.
And honestly, like his game is not average either.
Mm-mm.
It's not. Yeah, that would have been all around.
Vibes aren't average.
Raul, pretty average in everything but appearance.
All right. Now we're going to foray into the podcast-related subcategory of our award show. Podcast category number 1. Guy most likely to listen to Joe Rogan, specifically the episode with Jordan Peterson where he wore the tuxedo and talked about how you should like eat meat all day.
Mhm.
Who would advocate basically for an all meat diet in conversation and
Because they
perhaps-
listened to that
yes,
episode
because
once. Yeah.
it's kind of a Jordan Peterson, Joe Rogan inspired meat diet aficionado guy.
Clear answer. I don't even know if anything else fits this. It's Kyle Kuzma. That man is so susceptible to everything. Also, like, loves wealthy people. Thinks billionaires are cool. He had that tweet supporting Elon Musk. Like, just genuinely will believe anything that has enough popularity behind it, or even like perceived popularity, like internet people supporting it. And that is Joe Rogan. So it's, for me, it's hands down, it's Kyle Kuzma. Also does not believe in science. So
that's a great pick.
That's good. Yeah.
I can totally see the Instagram post now. Like shirtless being like, this is because of an all meat diet.
Yeah.
Just
I can see him like
completely.
quote tweeting something about like, you know, him being like Joe Rogan getting deplatformed from something, and Kuzma just like with an emoji and a WTF.
This emoji,
Solidarity.
the question, the
yeah.
emoji where the guy has his like hand on his chin,
Right,
and he's
yes.
looking quizzingly. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
for sure.
that's a good one. I can't top that.
Wow, thank you.
Yeah,
An honor.
That's great.
Didn't Jordan Peterson get really sick after doing that diet?
Yeah, he did. He got very sick, and he even said this, like, I think on that episode, or I don't know. I listened to there's a maintenance phase episode that goes into Jordan Peterson that is fascinating, and one of the things that Mike said on it was that Jordan Peterson admitted that he drank something that had sugar in it or something like that, and was like violently sick for an extended period of time because his body was not used to anything other than meat, specifically red meat.
Totally.
Yeah.
Ick.
Yeah.
Ick.
Yeah. I have a few for this.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
All right.
So the easy pick is like Michael Porter Jr., right?
Oh, I didn't even think about him. Yeah. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got the I think he's got the anti-vaxxer thing, obviously. But there's also like a sweetness and an innocence to him that I think can be like really easily exploited by like the self-help industry and just like, you know, so and like there's also I think one of the things that's like really key to getting swept up in these is believing a little bit too much in your own intelligence. Like a lot of this is just about like believing things that are different than what other people believe. Like it's
And
like
thinking you're
contrarianism,
smart.
right? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I'm
It's
better
like,
than everyone.
yeah. It's usually people who like feel like they have to be smart in order to like survive. Like I honestly have like some level of empathy for it. It's so I don't know if he necessarily has that as much as somebody like Spencer Dinwiddie, who I think could like completely get lost in one of these.
Didn't he get how did he get his paycheck one time? Like, was it in crypto or he
tried to.
Okay.
Like his whole contract, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, he tried to, but like he just didn't have enough people that were on board. I don't know if that was necessarily like a bad structure, like, you know, that might work now, but the other one I had that I would feel really bad for if it happened to was Tobias Harris. He's like just like the ultimate like sleep tracker. Watch what I eat. I'm gonna read this book on meditation. Like I want to be better. And like could totally just go down that wormhole.
Oh,
Toby.
a tummy tear. You know, the people
What's a
who
tummy
do
tear?
like they did the tummy tea detoxes.
Oh, a tummy
was
tear.
just like,
oh, I got you. Yeah.
Like laxatives. And it was really bad. Doctors were like, stop doing this. You're taking like laxatives every day, 3 times a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've never done a juice cleanse.
Me neither.
Yeah. I think it's like a kind of very toxic way of the like diet.
Well, yeah,
industry
anything
has
that's that
found a way
unsustainable,
to-
and also like you just
Yeah.
you need to have like some kind of normalcy in your diet, unless you have some kind of condition that prevents that normalcy. But it's probably not healthy to just have liquids if that's not like a medical condition
Or
that
all
requires
meat.
it. Or
Right,
all red
yeah.
meat. Yeah, you can see
Yeah.
it both ways,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
The juice cleanse things, yeah, I've stayed away from it because sometimes you'll see things where people are like, you're juicing wrong and like you need to get all the fiber out, and then some people are like, the fiber is what's good for you, and I don't know. One time I had to take a Pilates class in college, which I enjoyed, but she also said that like if you cook spinach wrong and don't trap the something, then you lose the nutrient. And I was like, you know what, fuck this, like I don't want to know. If I'm eating spinach, I'm bringing myself to eat, that cursed green, which is not enjoyable. When you bite into it, you're like taken back to 7th grade biology when you learn what's inside of a plant because you can feel it in your teeth. There's like the film on top, and then you're just biting into like a, I don't even remember what a mitochondria is. It just feels like it. I feel like I'm like in biology class, you know, Miss Fizzle's like in my mouth or whatever.
Hell yeah,
I don't want to know if I'm doing it wrong, you know?
No,
I'm
yeah.
just I'm trying to be healthy. There's some things where there's got to be something. It's got to be giving me something. So after that, I just like totally zoomed out of Pilates and juices and
Okay.
all the things.
Hear me out. Only red meat and juices.
Now that I
No.
honestly think might work
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
wait, meat's not fiber though. At some point you need fiber.
Right.
You can
You
get
don't
fiber from vegetables. Like, could you
Yeah, but
use
it's
like vegetables in a juice?
The material
Sure,
is
yeah.
fiber.
This is kind of a Daryl Morey style diet.
The actual like fiber, that's why carrots have so much fiber. It's not that like they have some kind of nutrient. It's like the physical
part of it.
makeup of
really?
yeah. Well, if I'm wrong, I don't know. Just don't tell me. I don't
No, what we should just go full circle and post this as health advice, and then see if Tobias Harris falls for it.
I had I don't love my pick, but I had Ivanka Zubac because of two things. One, this is the type of fucked up thing that people who live in LA for too long do. Is they start eating
Did you see
meat.
the Heidi from the Hills eating a raw heart?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
people, it's you know, a depraved place.
Google
Yeah,
it, Sarah.
that's a good one. He went from the Lakers to the Clippers and
Yeah, too long.
stayed
And
in LA.
Too much.
It's
LA.
also something that somebody under 6'2" or like 6'4" wouldn't do. People who are kind of like within the regular standard deviation of height would not do some fucked up thing like this.
I wonder
So-
if you're
Haley,
taller
would you
if
do
it
that?
takes go on meat diet or juice diet.
Yeah, just I mean,
As a member of the 6'4"
Yeah.
community.
Ah, I see. Yes, because I am 6'4".
there you go. Yeah.
No, I used to have a strong stomach. I no longer do. I feel like a weak little baby having to plan out meals. My digestion could not handle it. There's absolutely no way. I need balance. And
We
less
all
milk.
do. That's the lesson.
Yeah.
from today.
I don't even drink milk,
Yeah.
but like butter. I got the butter, the cheese.
Mhm.
Yeah. The other day when I was in New York, I ordered something and I was like, what kind of milk do you use to you like? Because I'm just seeing what if I cut it out? Am I going to feel better? Am I going to have more energy? Like whatever.
Mhm.
And he was like, oh, are you lactose intolerant? And I was like, no. And he's like, it just upsets your stomach. And I'm in front of like work people I've never met before. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to get into it. But he asked, and what was I going to do? Anyway, that was just a vulnerable moment for me. That I guess I'm repeating in front of
everybody.
potentially
We all
in
know
front of a
now.
lot of yeah,
It's okay.
Well,
We're here with you.
thank you.
Yeah, I mean it's probably all the seed oils. You gotta cut that stuff out.
Seed. What?
I don't even want to.
That's just another one of those.
Yeah. Could we just do a quick aside on the Heidi eating a raw heart thing?
Yeah, did you Google it?
No, I didn't.
No, I don't
So
think I
Google
want to.
Heidi Montag.
She's the
Heidi
worst.
Montag raw heart. I think she's eating a buffalo heart. Raw heart.
Oh God.
She does, I think, a raw meat diet, which is even weirder because I think they cook their meat.
She
Here it is.
snacks on bison heart. Just walking.
Look, she's
just
literally.
walking.
It's not even that she's like in her home. She's got a Ziploc bag, pulls a heart out of it.
She
Is just
loves
like walking
it too.
out of a store. Yeah, and
A
she's
Zip-
really into it.
Ziploc
Yeah.
bag.
Look at that smile.
I can't. I did not click on the photo to zoom
Sorry.
in.
It's really gross. Yeah.
Oh,
my
that damn
gosh.
smile.
It's honestly, it's so disgusting. I couldn't believe it, so I stared at it for a long time, and then it's even now, it's making me sick to look at because you can see the
Don't stop
blood
looking
at the
it.
bottom of the bag. Anyway,
So
disgusting.
gross.
She drank the blood after? Is that the juice?
That's the juice part of the cleanse. I can't. This is gross.
Ew. That
No,
is
no, no.
gross. We might have to give a warning because that literally might make people sick. It might.
It's making me sick. I'm holding my stomach right now.
Ew. Maybe we bleep some of that just enough. Ew, we all look pale right now. We're all like
Me pale? That's how you know.
The color has left our faces. We are like, there's no
Warning
we need to
to listeners.
re-blush.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. Everyone
Anyway.
on this podcast is white now.
Yeah.
Go to Don't do that to me. I didn't say that.
All right.
Should we transition or should we keep going?
Can we even?
You know what? Moving. Still within the podcast department, but moving on to a different sub podcast category. The Daniel Chapo Trap House guy who's most likely to be listening to a Socialist podcast warming up for a game award. Who do we have?
I didn't have one for this one.
I'll go first. Your first instinct here is Jaylen Brown, right?
Mhm.
He's very open about being interested in politics. He, I would say, while neither declaring himself as liberal or leftist, tends to, I think, from his views, veer left. However, if you listen to Chapo, I gotta think you're funny. And I'm not convinced that Jaylen Brown's funny. Would I want to be friends with him, talk to him about stuff? Absolutely. I just don't know that he's funny, and that's totally fine. Not everyone is. And because of that, I gotta go with Steve Nash. Steve Nash, I'll never forget, said when he was a player, he read Karl Marx, and that's stuck with me ever since. Plus, just his style of play, super selfless, shared the ball. Steve Nash is a communist, so Brad. Anyway, that's my pick. I think that he probably listens to Chapo Trap House.
That's a good one.
Mhm.
Good old Steve Nash.
Yeah.
Did
Going
you have
Ennis
one?
Freedom with this one.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Just because the name Freedom?
Well, there's
He got inspired from
just
this.
the vibes. Just the vibes. Like I did think Jaylen Brown as well for a bit there, but yeah, he doesn't seem like a podcast listener even.
Mhm.
Like I feel like if he listens to any podcast, they're probably really structured ones.
NPR history.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
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 Ennis would be the
Is-
kind of guy, too, who still believes in, like, let me hear both sides so I can blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
You know how, like, everyone else has kind of thrown that out, and they're like, no, that doesn't make sense because
Yeah.
no matter
'Cause
what
his
side you're
political
on,
views
you're
are
not...
kind of in that sort of place too, where he's kind of on both sides with a lot of different things.
I think it's
Totally.
just he doesn't know what he's talking
Well,
about.
yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
He's like, wait, who can get me on news today? Okay, I'm on that side. Whew. Yeah, I didn't have one for this. Harry, did you have one?
Yes, I went with another Brooklynite, and Brooklyn, Chapo Trap House, Brooklyn podcast. I went with Blake Griffin for two reasons. One, comedy guy. He aspires to be in the Brooklyn comedy scene, or the New York comedy scene. Two, took a pay cut. Okay, that's socialism.
That is
taking a pay cut
socialism.
to live in Brooklyn. I mean, I can't imagine a more. He basically joined the DSA. So I that's my guy.
All right.
My
I
pick.
think that works. Yeah. Millionaire, willing to sacrifice a little money in service of a greater good, even if it's a basketball team.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, great. I love it. I think that works. He is funny. I saw him do stand-up once.
How was he?
Decent.
That's all you can ask for.
That's all you can ask for,
Mhm.
really. I like Blake
He
Griffin.
went last on a lineup that I think, if I remember correctly, included Ali Wong. Who's the guy who
Ali
roasts
Wong.
people? This is like pre-public problematic.
Jeff Ross.
Yeah, him. And he was funny because I didn't know he sucked at that point. And then Blake Griffin went last after like this lineup of famous comedians. But it was his show, to be fair. Also, later that night, I wonder if me and a group of friends had pulled off a work thing, and to celebrate, one of us brought a joint, and I was looking for someone to light it, and an NBA player lit it for me. So let's do a little trivia. Which NBA player, who was a Mav at the time, I think,
We
lit
still haven't got the answer to our
my
first
joint.
trivia question.
Oh yeah, what year was this? This was recent?
No, this was a long time ago. Had to be 6+ years. Harry, we can break this into 2 parts, and this can be next Tuesday since awards are kind of evergreen at the moment.
JJ Barea.
Oh, close.
I love JJ Barea. Close?
Close. Oh, you know what? He was a Grizzly at the time.
Oh.
Chandler Parsons.
That's
Yes.
what I was thinking.
Oh, great.
Ding, 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 ding,
Great
ding.
pick.
Yeah.
Nice.
You know what? That actually brings us to our next award, which is the most out-of-pocket rumor we heard this year.
I
Oh.
would love to do this one, but I want everyone else to go first because I wonder if this is going to overlap.
This
I
is
couldn't think of one.
yeah,
so
a long
you guys got
stretch
it.
of these that you picked that I actually did not have one for. The odds are stacked against me.
I had one, which I'll go before you, Haley. I was at this like really, really bizarre party a couple weeks ago, which I won't give too much detail about, but I met this 19-year-old financial investor in head-to-toe Japanese designer, like $20,000 of clothing on him, and he told me that he knew some people who knew people high up at the Knicks organization, and he told me that Devin Booker was going to be a Knick in 2023. So
I have heard that. You have told me this, so I'm not going to feign surprise, but yes,
That's pretty. I'm more surprised at the 19-year-old financial advisor and $20,000 worth of clothing and how this is the most New York story ever. But that's a good one. I think also just it recently coming out. I mean, it wasn't really a big rumor, but Magic like a couple days ago being like, I got the call for DeMar DeRozan to be a Laker. This was supposed to happen. And I don't know what he was on.
Magic, you recused yourself. Like,
I
just leave it the fuck
know.
alone. You
He
can't be
loves
involved
to be
and not be involved.
included. Yeah, he just wants to still pretend like he has some sway, and he was like,
he wants to
"I got the
distract
call,"
from winning time.
and they didn't. Yeah, we can go down that road.
Winning time just is, the whole thing is like, yeah, Magic is a eager kid and a great willing player and passer, and fucked everybody in every state that he took like a step in. That's what winning time's entire premise is.
literally
And
what
Jerry
it is.
West sucks. That's like,
Oh,
that's the
yeah.
review.
That's the review. It's so fun though. I love that show.
I bet
It's-
that Magic Johnson has a higher body count than Wilt. I think Wilt was lying, first of all, and I think that Magic Johnson definitely, you had more access to people. You just do. There's more people. The first time me and Seerat met, we were talking about we shouldn't know this many people. That's the problem with being online. We should not be around and have knowledge that this many people are in our circle. As time goes on, people know more people. Magic Johnson had more access to people, and it was more popular to be in the NBA at that time than it was with Wilt. To summarize, Magic Johnson, I think, fucked more people than Wilt.
Absolutely.
That's a good
Absolutely.
point. Yeah. Were we talking about how like we weren't supposed to, like, as human beings, know more than 50 people ever?
Well, you told me that. Remember the first time we met?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
It would save me a lot of
We're-
money on my wedding.
Yeah.
if we only did 50 people.
Jordan's like, I'm changing my life philosophy. I'm changing my
Yeah.
life for this year and this year only.
Do I know you? I don't know.
Yeah. No, that's good.
Whew. Okay, yeah. Sorry, I couldn't contribute to that one. Did you What was yours, Haley?
My rumor is one that I've told you before, Jordan, which is something that is not a rumor this year, but it is just my favorite NBA rumor I've heard. I heard this from an agent, and then I heard this from a scout. Adam Silver polls.
Well, would you look at that?
Like, for
He
free?
fucks. Yeah.
Like he's like a suave guy. Like he has game.
Yeah. He's got a lot of game.
Good for him.
Is he on
Wow.
Raya?
I would guarantee Adam Silver's on Raya. Yeah. Harry's trying to get on Raya.
Do you want Harry? Do you want an invite?
Yeah, we'll talk off.
Okay.
Offline, but the short answer is yes.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna change my age restrictions on it and see if I find Adam Silver.
What's it at now?
I don't know.
You
Probably
gotta
not
go
his
to-
age.
in
though.
my opinion,
I don't
if
have
you-
the app anymore. Actually, okay, I'll re-download it. And it'll probably let me give you an invite.
That's
You gotta go. How old are you, Sarah? My age, right? 28?
28. Yeah. Someone asked me my age a couple days ago, and I had to be like 26, 27, 28. Yeah.
I've said this
Pre-COVID.
before. I forgot I was 26 the entire year. I was 26. I told people I was 25. And then when I had my birthday, the decoration said 27. And I was like, what? And then I remembered I'd been 26 for a year.
Yeah.
This was pre-pandemic, to be clear. This wasn't like a weird time warp
thing.
memory
Yeah.
thing. No, this was absolutely, just fully conscious and living. Forgot I was 26.
Yeah.
I think your age limit should be 42. Perfect age.
Mm.
Money.
Yeah.
Could do fun stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah. Open your world. But Adam Silver,
How old is he?
let's take a guess. I'd say he's 44.
Oh, I think he's older. I'm going.
He's way older than I thought.
Yeah.
Damn.
He's like
63?
60. Yeah.
What?
I think he's.
He's
I think
59.
Oh, I was
Damn,
just about
Adam.
to say 58.
Damn.
Adam Silver Fox.
He 40. Well, that's why people are like, "Oh, you're only 44." He's like,
He's
yeah.
he's also a Taurus, which makes so much fucking sense.
Also, as I age, I don't know what age anybody is anymore.
I know
That's so
NBA
true.
players, like mostly you could ask me someone. I'm really good at judging height and age, even if I've never looked it up before, just like a guess because I
Yeah.
remember drafts pretty well. But normal, I've no, especially kids. Like I
have no idea.
you could be 6 or 11, and I'd have no
No
idea.
clue.
I
No
genuinely,
clue.
there's no
Yeah.
in my mind until you're 14. It's really extremely hard for me to judge.
Yeah.
I have a
That's a tough
tough time
one.
from like anybody from like 18 to 40. No idea.
Ooh, that's a big range.
It's not a good range to not know people's ages. Like, it's tough. It's tough.
I will say LA made that way trickier because people just flawlessly, and very subtly. I think the majority of people, it's subtle, the work and the, little here and whatever. And so it was hard to judge,
Yeah. Everyone's trying to be the same age, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah. I have an offline age related quandary for you guys when we're done.
Okay.
Looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Way to shit on our listeners by not trusting
Sorry.
them.
I gotta say, just going back to Adam Silver, 60 plus Raya is probably a dark place.
Well, he's got a year to figure it out.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah.
I bet his age range is like 24 to
24 is probably a little
63.
old. Just kidding. I don't know why I said that. I have no idea what his type is. I'm just assuming because
maybe he
he's a
pulls
famous rich man.
When
maybe
I was
good.
was it the Oscars or what did Amy Schumer do? Oscars?
Oscars, yeah.
I don't like Amy Schumer. I think she sucks. And I think her dress was the equivalent, the bow dress was like the equivalent of the tuxedo shirt where it just has like a screen print on it. I thought it was hideous and I think she's not funny and she's so over dramatic and stupid, especially about all things related to the slap. But the joke she had about
What did she
Leo,
say
I
about the
did
slap?
laugh. She said that she wasn't allowed to make an Alec Baldwin joke about a gun and killing someone, but the slap was okay, and she was really upset about it because one of them involved murder, and apparently the line for her is extremely blurred between that and Slap.
Mhm.
She's
Did
a
she make a
dumbass.
joke
Let's
about?
do guys. Let's do 20
you?
minutes on the slap.
Oh
Mhm.
God.
I literally
know-
never want to hear
No, I'm kidding.
anybody talk
I'm
about the
kidding.
slap ever again. I know you were kidding. She said that she made some joke about him only dating like 17-year-olds, which was
Yeah.
very funny.
That's always gonna be funny.
Yeah.
That will-
Just to be
Golden
clear,
Globes,
that's not
Tina
part
and Amy
of
jokes
the-
about that are fucking awesome too.
Yeah, it's very funny. I like them a lot. And they didn't even show him. So either he wasn't there or like he paid people not
Was
to show him
fucking a
during the
20-year-old
inevitable
bathroom.
age joke. To
Yeah.
be clear, that's not part of the Adam Silver rumor. While he does fuck, he does not fuck that I know of. I don't know the age range. So just to be
Yeah,
clear.
that's
fair.
He might pull in a bunch of 51-year-olds.
Maybe.
Which would be so fucking cool. I could see
That
that.
would be
yeah,
awesome.
That'd be cool. Yeah.
I'm gonna do the age cap, like what would be the appropriate age?
Divide by
for-
2 plus
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, I'm
for
gonna do that for him
59.
right now. Yeah.
Damn,
I'm sorry.
that's one I'm
What?
not
What
doing
is
in my head.
this?
It's proper or acceptable to date somebody who is your age divided by 2 plus 7. That's the youngest you can go without it being fucking gross.
Yeah.
And
36
obviously
a
you
half
have
for
to
him.
anything over 18, like you have to
Yeah.
be a consenting adult for this to
Yeah.
apply.
Yeah.
Or the minimum
That'd be 21,
age has to
that's not-
result in a consenting adult. Yeah, which for me, I'm like, ew, 19. You shouldn't do this if it ends in 19. Like that's just that's fucking gross. Like
Yeah.
Stop.
the default, it should be like 23.
Yeah. Yeah.
To be clear.
No matter how old you are, you shouldn't date somebody that's 19.
Yeah,
If you're
exactly.
19, you should.
If you're 19,
Yeah,
even if
Even if you're 19.
Just don't date.
Okay, the next one we have is the guy who is most likely to see you drinking a seltzer and be like, seltzers actually dehydrate you.
Which I to this day don't know.
Oh, it's not
because
true.
okay, it's not true.
Well, it might be true, but there's no. I mean, it's water. What are we talking about?
But this is
I
my
love
thing is like you
sparkling
put a
water.
tea bag in and all of a sudden it's not water doesn't hydrate you anymore. So I genuinely like don't understand the rules of what will hydrate you and what won't. Like if something's majority water, it should hydrate you.
It should.
Natty Light should be hydrating.
But it's also why I love this
I'm
one
with
so
you.
much is because this is a very specific type of person that would
Mm-hmm.
go out of their way to make this point.
This is
Because
the Well
that's-
Actually award.
Yes. Well, actually, that's going to hydrate you. And
Who do
my
you have,
pick,
Jordan?
I have Cat.
Wow.
I find him kind of annoying in
Yeah.
just like his personality and I didn't know that I found him annoying, but
That's
it was
really fucked up.
I know, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. It
No,
was
I
after
also think that he is yeah.
it was after the GQ couples quiz. That was the only one that I didn't like.
Yes.
I love those videos.
Bad
I love
video.
every single one. I don't know if he was just having a bad day, but I feel like every single answer I was like, eye roll. What are you saying? What are you doing? So I feel like in that video there is a cut clip of Jordan Woods being like, my favorite drink is a sparkling water, and he's like, well, actually, did you know that? I feel like
This-
that exists somewhere.
Oh,
No, it's not
okay.
real. I'm saying
Oh.
that it would fit into that video of him correcting her and being like, those dehydrate you.
You should not correct your partner in public. Just
That's a
don't.
good one.
Yeah, you should not. That's especially if it's a woman. Like, what are you doing? Mine is Jaylen Brown. This is where I properly slated him. I think he's a big like information guy. He gives off the vibe of like, you remember your second year of college where you take a slightly advanced like political class or history of religion or something, like actually. And I'm not saying that he is his comprehension and understanding about the world is to a sophomore in high school level degree. I'm just saying that those are the vibes that he gives me. I think he's a very, very smart guy, but I think he would also correct you about if you're just enjoying a seltzer that it's not actually hydrating you.
Yeah. Good call.
I disagree with that. I feel
And
like he'd have
you're
like
allowed
a
to.
Thank you so
Because
much.
I'm not Jaylen Brown.
It's valid. Um, I just feel like he has like a live and let live vibe.
Mm.
If it's not something that's materially important,
Hmm.
he just seems kind of chill that way.
Snaps.
Yeah, yeah.
Who did you pick?
Spencer Dinwiddie for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Poor Dinwiddie. He's
Yeah,
been
he's catching-
he's a couple of mine. He's catching some strays, but he deserves it.
Totally does.
Like where we should slot in Kyrie, like Dinwiddie is just getting applied, and
Yeah.
that's brutal
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
for multiple reasons. One, like replacement,
Mhm.
kind of, but yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the need to correct is like an important part of this.
Mhm.
Yes.
It's interesting that seltzer guy and meat guy are sounding like the same type of guy.
Yeah, it's kind of in the same sort of family.
Yeah.
It's just like pretending to know way more about food than you do.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. And
Very
health,
true.
I guess.
I picked, and I actually think this pick says a little bit about some of the chemistry issues going on in Utah. I think actually both Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. I could see them doing this to each other, a bit of a Spider-Man meme situation.
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yes.
Pick. Great
Yes.
pick. Yeah.
The rookie sweatshirt. Donovan Mitchell will never live that down. It's the worst outfit of all
It was
time.
bad. Yeah. Horrible. I caught so much. I just like stopped. Yeah.
That was bad.
No, I
Adidas
don't-
really fucked him on that one.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And then Rudy Gobert. I mean, just seems like I almost am imagining him being like, well, actually, screen assists, like should count toward PER or like something like that in the seltzer thing, and it's like, dude, you got to make a hook shot.
You gotta be a stronger presence, please.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
I can see
Yeah.
that turning into a fight, and then Donovan Mitchell continually not passing him the ball because that happened earlier, like
Mhm.
them getting off the plane or something.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I
Really
also
holds
could-
a grudge.
Yeah, I could see Donovan starting to do it because Rudy does it.
Mm.
They both also seem, and I mean this not derogatively at all, whatever.
I think you did it right.
They both seem like guys who would drink seltzer.
I don't really have in my mind a person who would drink seltzer.
Is seltzer? Wait, this might be a dumb question. Is seltzer different than sparkling water? Or are
No,
they
I
the same
think that's
thing?
seltzer. Yeah, to me,
Okay,
that's
okay.
seltzer.
I'm thinking of them as similar,
Yeah.
yeah.
I love a good sparkling water.
I just like
Mhm.
don't know. I really don't know who drinks seltzer. And
Okay.
who doesn't. You know, I don't have it in my mind. My sister likes seltzer. Hey,
Wait.
Bonnie.
We got time for one more. Do you all have a favorite that we haven't done?
Yeah, do the penultimate one.
Oh, okay. Yes, this is the guy who would be most likely to create a company based around a piece of like proprietary technology that it's like you just get a prick of blood, like a little ping print, and then they can send that off very, very quickly, and do like a whole blood work on just that one prick, and then like start a company based around that technology and get Henry Kissinger, like sort of one of the worst people of all time, to invest in the company and be on the board, and then have it turn out that the technology was sort of fraudulent and defraud a bunch of people and lie about a bunch of the validity of the blood tests, and to kind of have this whole reckoning with Silicon Valley venture capital guy of the year.
Rudy Gobert. Vaguely unlikable. Like, there's just something about him you can't deny. He's working towards something. But nobody, even with defensive awards, nobody wants to give it to him. It's not his fault. Utah's defense isn't up to what it normally is. Yet he's also, nobody wants to give him anything. Just, you don't get a great vibe. I'm sure if he was in tech, like, he would also wear a black turtleneck just because somebody once did and he thought that was cool.
He totally would. Totally would. Unfortunately, if I'm going for what I wrote down literally on a piece of paper yesterday, it was Spencer Dinwiddie.
It tracks.
Did not know all
my
of this was gonna
God.
happen. But
Wow.
here's who I wrote down. He just gives off that vibe. I'm sorry, we can't help it. He kind of he did it to himself a little bit. He did. My bad, Smith.
No, I think. Look, you arrived at that independently yesterday. Like
without
you
any
gotta
of
go.
this influence.
Yeah. I'm gonna change my answer for this one. I had De'Aaron Fox because it kind of happened to him with the NFT thing. But I'm gonna go Aaron Gordon here.
Yep.
Yep.
Bay Area
Great
legend.
pick.
Yep.
Great pick.
Yeah. I think you have to be like vaguely charming to pull these kinds of things off. And I also think that he would go into it actually believing that, this would work. He hosts a podcast. Always a red flag. Always a red flag. Sorry to say.
No, it really is. When people ask me what I do, I don't say podcast. I don't. I say I'm a freelance producer. Yeah, I do. It's true.
What happens when they ask a follow-up question?
I don't.
You just don't.
Just walk away.
No.
Yeah.
No, there's just a subject change. Ask Jordan. I am the master of changing subjects.
Oh, I know.
Actually,
The
Sarah, you
queen.
know
Yeah, I
this.
know.
Yeah, no, I avoid
Queen.
like
Yeah.
people have no, and it's so seamless.
She's so brazen with
You'd
it.
never
That's a
know.
crazy thing. Oh, you know though.
Well, yeah, but you're swept into the next thing because I always
you're
transition
swept
with
in.
something
Yeah,
so compel you. Your brain gets distracted. Yeah, I'm a really good subject changer.
Yeah.
Deflector. Yeah. Avoidant personality. Yeah,
Great
sure. Why
skill
don't
to
we just-
have.
Yeah.
Great skill to have.
Yeah, I'm jealous.
Anyway.
For Aaron Gordon, I think he would do all of this and somehow it would come back to the slam dunk competition. Like him just fixing it or him somehow getting the award back. Like that would be his mission.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I believe that he would do something like this. That's a great one.
Yeah.
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 I could also see him like just hosting or like having one of his dunks be like, Elizabeth Holmes holds the ball for him at the just under the rim.
No, the ball's like covered in the blood of like all the people who he's collected so far, and like every dribble, there's just a puddle coming off.
Yeah. No, it's actually it's like a seed capital thing where everybody who contributes a drop of blood gets a reward from the dunk contest.
A part of the trophy.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You
Like
you
that
get
scene from
an
Mean Girls.
NFT of the trophy.
But it would be like tomato juice because like no blood was actually properly collected or diagnosed. Or whatever the fuck she fucked up. I don't know. I didn't watch the documentary.
Yeah.
And I
think
I'm
it's
not
just
watching
literally
the show.
impossible to do what she said that you could do. Like it's just
Yeah.
not a thing.
My issue with the show is that Amanda, I don't remember her last name, is just
Seyfried.
so likable. I love everything about her. I don't dislike her, and the hair's not frizzy enough. So even from the previews, I was like, I'm not watching this. You didn't get her hair right. You have to get a wig. I'm sorry. Look at Amanda's hair in past movies. It would never work.
Too sleek.
There is one blonde person who it would work for, and that is the person who played Keely on Ted Lasso. She should have played Elizabeth Holmes in that.
Yeah.
Look, it's not her fault, but her hair would frizz better.
Mm.
Mhm.
And that's
I-
just that.
I don't.
I think
I
only
guess I
Elizabeth
don't know
Holmes
if
can
I
play
should watch.
Elizabeth Holmes.
Yeah.
If I should watch the show or the documentary, I think I got to start with the documentary because
Tell
I
me
didn't.
if it's
I didn't
good.
even watch it. Okay, I'll let you know.
Harry?
I don't mean this to be a stray. I really like the player that I'm about to say. It's just an energy thing. Andre Iguodala.
Yes.
He's immersed in the Silicon
Yes.
Valley
Yeah.
world. He is an optimist. He has sort of just enough kind of drops of neoliberalism in him to kind of like make for a good techno villain. And he's an optimist, which I think is what you need to be Elizabeth Holmes type figure.
Yeah. He was on my short list.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Can we run through real quick and do a joint draft for the first team all nightmare blunt rotation? So like the people that you would least want to be in a circle with high. My number one pick is Dwight Howard. Absolute nightmare. I don't even want to be around him sober. So I don't. Yeah, that would be terrible.
Yeah, I feel you. Like when I'm high, I can't stand people who won't shut up.
Yeah. Oh my God, did you guys hear my stomach? Did that come through?
No.
Okay.
But to that point, that's why I was going to say Kyrie. I think he would go on such a long tangent that he would be talking and give a whole TED Talk before.
Yeah, and it would just be like wrong. I hate when people continue on with something where it's just at the surface. I'm like, well, no, and there's no reason with engaging in it. Yeah, totally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he would definitely be playing devil's advocate about something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Just to do it, yeah.
I also have Andre Drummond on here, which I don't think is as surprising. I have Jimmy Butler, which I think might be an unpopular pick. Would I want to hang out with him? Totally. Have a glass of wine? Completely. But high? No. Too much energy. I don't know where it's being directed. I don't like that knowledge that he could, become like overly hyper about something. I just don't. Kind of similar with the Kyrie thing. I don't know what avenues this is going down, and I'm not sure I want to figure it out.
Yeah. I don't want to be a part.
I wonder what he'd be like. Like, would he mellow out a little bit if he was high? No? Yeah.
No. I know.
Yeah. I had Pat Bev on this. Not because I think he'd actually be like a pretty good hang once he was high, but I think the process of getting high would be really difficult with him because I think he'd be the type of person that would just keep holding onto the joint and talking while like not realizing what they're doing.
It goes out like 3 times while he has it. Yes.
Like he's like telling a story and like he's not even doing it because he like is there's nothing nefarious at all. He just doesn't realize.
Yeah.
That's really funny. I could just see him being over animated, going back to a play that he's describing how he was playing defense, and then it's just flinging everywhere, and people are trying to reach for
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, have you guys seen Succession?
Of course.
That last episode of season 1 when Kendall is smoking weed with the guy that eventually dies in the river. Like that's happening, that whole scene. Like Kendall's just like going back and forth talking about like, I don't know, taking down his dad, and like and the waiter's just like, he thinks that Kendall's about to like give him the joint because he's being very expressive with his hands, and he just moves him back over and over again. Just think
I think that you have, that is a perfect, I have to go. Before I go, I'll say KCP is on my short list, and also did I have anyone? Grayson Allen. Oof, nightmare.
All times bad vibes. Well, that's our show, our anti-awards award show. Please keep leaving us your voicemail and tell us what other awards you would have and who would win them on our voicemail at 502-874-4453, or send us an email at spinsters@bluewirepods.com to be featured on the show. And as always, shout out to our producer, Harry Krinsky.
Hi, it's Renee from New Jersey. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Does anybody really believe that LeBron James is having the time of his life? Give me a break. Bye.